Welcome to Moon Harbor Heroes. Today's issue is Faces, issue 24, Incursion. On the cover, we see a section of Moon Harbor besieged by demons. A large angler whale floats lazily over the streets. Small, bulbous demons chase screaming civilians. Towering above the nearby buildings, we see the Rider Tower, groups of small demons climbing its sides. We turn the page and our story begins. Our next scene is back in the sanctuary. Correct me if I'm wrong, I imagine Ryder is still at the supercomputer, and Faye is...
I think we cut in and see, like, the supercomputer with, like, a camera on it, like, projecting... This isn't how cameras work, but there's a lens on it. Projecting, like, a map of the city onto the floor. And I think we see Faye, like, with chalk, like, going around and, like, Xing all the buildings. She knows Mary Louise is not in.
Ryder's probably playing on the computer, trying to enhance the image and remove. Maybe every time Faye marks a building with the chalk, maybe he is in the map program actually removing the building to give us a better look of the city.
You are on your dad's old computer. Do we ever get any panels of you going through his files?
I think we would.
Yeah, we get like a couple panels of you like flipping through his files, both as Dark Mark and, Dark Rider. And I think we find like we get a panel of you in a directory of his logs, and we see you open one of them, but we don't see what's on it. Does that work for you?
That works.
Cool. And then our next panel is an overhead shot of like the projected city and Faye walking around it. And then we see amongst the things that you have this set up to do, Ryder and Faye, you have together set up a scanner for... I'm trying to figure out the words here.
I would want to say that we've set up a scanner specifically to detect any anything magical related in the city.
How about demon related?
Yeah, I like that better. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And you start getting like a deep purple glow. Feel free to change the color if you don't want that to be the signal for demon activity around the apartment building of Mary Louise Rogers, where you know that currently Supai and Carl are underneath.
Is this, like, a glow that is, like, clearly from one person, or is it, like, a lot of demon activity? Because Supai has demon powers, so that wouldn't be that alarming if it's just, like, a little...
This scanner doesn't detect individuals. It detects a lot of demonic energy in one place.
Great.
It's basically an incursion scanner.
I'm going to look at Ryder and be like, that doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't. And they're headed directly into that, aren't they?
I'm going to try to connect to Carl mentally and, like, try to chat with Carl.
You probably want to put the cat on your lap and then talk through the cat. It gives you the best connection.
But the cat is on fire! We cannot hold a cat fire! Fire cat?
Faye, I want you to unleash your powers for that.
Hell yeah. Let's fucking go. That's a 7.
All right, would you like this? Would you like to mark a condition or make this unstable or temporary?
I think I'm going to mark guilty.
Cool. Tell me what these panels look like on your side when you're connecting with Carl.
I think we see me, like, pacing around the room, and then I look directly into the cat's eyes, and then all of a sudden we see me in Carl's, like, mind sanctuary, and I'm like, hey, there might be trouble.
Trouble how?
Lots of demonic activity, more than just one person, in the apartment building, and around the apartment building upstairs.
Anything we can do about it?
I don't know. Do you want me to come over there?
Can Supai and I handle it?
I don't know. I don't know if Supai can still portal out of there or not, but tell them if they need to, they can.
Okay. You talk to Ryder and see if you guys need to come over here or not. I'll leave it up to you guys.
Okay. I mean, Ryder probably won't let me leave, but I can get out anyway. So, it's up to you.
I mean, I'll leave that to you guys. It's whatever you want.
Aren't we just the most decisive couple? Okay, I'll be in touch in a second. And I'm going to break with the cat. And then I'm going to turn and be like, okay, are we going over there?
You know we can't.
I mean...
The risk is too high. You being around all that magical energy before we find her We don't know what that will do to you, especially after you've been in hell for heaven knows how long.
2 months and 6 days.
Exactly. Ryder turns back to the computer. The coin I handed you earlier contains divine energy. I don't know if you'll be able to use it, but maybe, possibly, it could prevent a transformation. Prevent you losing yourself to that.
Okay. I'm not going anywhere yet. But if it gets worse, if more demonic activity starts,
We go.
At that, another part of the map lights up purple. It's the Ryder estate, and we're going to cut back down to the sewers. We cut to Supai knocking on the pipe that's still gushing water, and then turning to Carl and going, "How long's that cat going to take? It's been a while." And Carl, this is immediately after Faye and you stop talking. What do you look like in that panel? So I don't think we've ever seen you from the outside while you're talking in your mind sanctuary.
Good question. I guess Carl would just sort of stop in his tracks and maybe sit down, and you'd kind of notice that something was off.
I like that. And I think this is like the tail end of your conversation. Supai walks up, puts their hand on your shoulders, like, are you okay? And that is what you kind of come to too. Them shaking you gently.
Yeah, sorry, I was talking to Faye. Apparently there's a bunch of demons upstairs.
We need to go. And you see just outright fear in Supai's eyes.
What do you want to do?
Should that cat be back by now? And I think the answer is yes to that.
I can't feel the cat anymore, which is not a good sign. I think we lost it. Or it's gone.
I think we should get out of here.
Should we... What do you want to do? You want to go back to the sanctuary, or should I call Faye again?
Check with Faye. And Supai bursts a tendril of flame out of each of their arms. I'll keep watch, and just starts kind of frantically pacing, holding the fire up to light up the sewers.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call Faye's Carl cat then. I guess it starts meowing in a regular interval, like a phone would do.
You know how they always write ring, ring, ring on phones in comics? It's like that, but word meow.
I answer the cat. I look into the cat's eyes.
And before we jump into the Mind Sanctuary, I think we get Faye. What do you look like while you're in the Mind Sanctuary from the outside?
I mean, right now I'm staring into a cat's eyes intensely.
Perfect. And Ryder, yeah, we've got Faye there, and you're definitely seeing the purple around the Ryder estate.
Ryder sees that. Is Faye immediately going into the Mind Sanctuary as this happens?
Yeah, she is frozen at this point, staring into a cat's eyes, meowing softly.
He's just he stares at the estate, and then he's going to whip out his phone and calls Hayun.
Yeah, Leo picks up. Fee?
Uncle, you need to get out of there. Are you at the house?
Yeah. What's wrong?
Seems to be a whole lot of demonic activity surrounding the estate. You need to get out of there. Get all the servants, anyone else in the building, get them out.
Okay. Where should I go?
Go to the nearest Saber building. I'll contact them shortly and let them know you're on their way.
Okay.
You might need their help.
Stay safe, Fee.
Will do. And then he hangs the phone up.
Do you want anything else before we cut into the Mind Sanctuary?
The next call will be... I don't want to show this on panel, but I want the next number to show up on the screen to be Saber's number.
Okay. Carl, do you want to frame this scene for us inside the Sanctuary?
Sure. I think when Faye and Carl are talking in their minds, they show up in the mind sanctuary, and I guess they would both be sitting down in the grass in a blue forest, and there's probably a lot of pink butterflies behind Faye.
I think Faye comes in not expecting quiet and peaceful, and is like, "Okay, Carl, get out of there."
Okay, so Supai wants to run and doesn't want to have anything to do with demons.
That makes sense. They've had a really traumatic couple months.
So what? So we come back to your place?
Get somewhere safe. If you want to come here, that's okay. But if there's somewhere closer, you can go somewhere closer.
Okay.
I'm not waiting anymore.
Okay. I'll see you in a bit.
Before we end this scene, Carl, if Supai put their hand on your shoulder, would you be able to feel it?
Yeah.
Like, could they, while you're in the state, ask to be brought inside to talk?
Of course, yeah. It would be fairly shocking for Supai, but Carl has a habit of not really preparing people.
Supai just kind of, still with like one flaming arm, just kind of appears in the Mind Sanctuary.
Anyone in the Mind Sanctuary kind of appears as themselves, like as like the best version of themselves. Is Supai showing up as Supai, or does Supai look different?
Supai looks like Supai.
Okay. I think I want to pierce the mask as soon as they're in there.
What's that look like on the page?
I think when Supai comes in, I immediately go over to them and I like take their hands and I'm like, look, you two have to get out of there. You trust me. And I want to look them in the eyes and I want to try to pierce the mask.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
That's a 10.
Okay, on a 10 plus, ask 3.
What are you really planning?
In what scope? Like, in relation to what?
I'm trying to figure out if they're Veronics. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what are you really planning in terms of, like, the big plan as a whole?
Do you know what other questions you're asking, or is this determined here?
How could I get your character to prove that they're real?
Okay, on the first one, what are you really planning? When you look into Supai's eyes, you see a lot of fear and a lot of just determination. They want to survive this. They're going to do whatever it takes to survive.
All right. Can I hold the next 2 questions till I have them back in person?
Possibly. I think it depends how soon that is.
Okay. I want to look at them and I'm like, can you still portal?
No. After you went through that portal, our link broke.
Damn it. Okay. You two get out of there safely and come back to the sanctuary. Get back here.
How bad is it out there?
There's activity. I don't know how bad it is. It may be the best to just come through the sewers and never go up to the surface.
Okay. Carl, how do we get out of here? They like turn and look around the forest.
Just say when.
Oh, I see the butterflies. Those are beautiful. Let's go.
Okay. And then I guess Carl pushes out Supai and looks at Faye and says, anything else from you?
No, just get here safely.
I'll get Supai to you. Don't worry. Aye.
So Carl drops out of the Mind Sanctuary, and for just a moment, Faye is still there. And we get the pink writing that says, oh, this is a lovely place.
I'm gonna blink my eyes and try to like manifest like not the full body of the demon, but just like make the demon appear in front of me. Just like the face of the demon.
I'd like you to unleash your powers.
That's an 8.
Your choice.
I'm gonna mark insecure.
What does this look like on the page?
I blink my eyes and we see the pink butterflies form into the face of the demon. And I'm like, look, if Mary Louise Rogers brings all the demons onto Earth, you don't get a rule. That's your thing, right? You want to rule Earth? Help me stop it, and then the two of us can fight like we've been planning. I'm not going to go down without a fight, but I don't think you are either. Help me find her. And I want to be triggering my move Burning Bright, which is to mark your doom track to ignore one of your GM's data requirements when you call upon the resources of your sanctuary. I don't need the personal object of Mary Louise Rogers anymore. I'm just going to mark 2 conditions and risk the cult finding us.
Okay, cool. You're still gonna get an object here. I'm just gonna give this to you narratively.
Okay.
We get a couple panels of Zielkev pondering this, and then she leans forward and goes, "You make a good point. I can't influence things that much, but I can do this." And her mouth opens, and like deep inside her throat, we can see that stained glass portal that Faye uses. And it shatters, and into your hand falls out a lock of Mary Louise's hair.
All right, that'll work. Thank you, I guess. And then I'm going to drop out of the Mind Sanctuary.
Go.
And I'm going to hold the lock up in my hand and be like, hey, Fee, we can do the spell now. We've got something.
That's good and all, but we have other problems. Demonic activity has began happening around around home. I've already called Saber in. There's, as far as I can tell, they're going to try to deal with the threat there, which means we can go get Carl and Supai.
Ryder, your phone chimes. It's a text from Leo.
Ryder's going to flip the phone up and take a look at it. He's still using a flip phone.
See, the text is just a very grainy picture because it's a flip phone of out one of the windows, and in it we see these about foot tall, like very bulbous purple creatures with sharp claws. And in the side of the picture, just the barest hint of what looks like an anglerfish, about the size of a whale. It has wings. Oh yeah, fun fact, it's the little dangly bit, the light. It has teeth on that too, just because we're terrible people.
I hate it. I love it.
And then a text comes in that's just a question mark.
Remember that fish you were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's outside the estate. We need to get hold of Carl and Supai and get them there ASAP. There are people inside. Leo's inside.
Okay, you all go. Go get your uncle, get everyone out, and call Carl on the way. Have Carl divert and go over there. I need to take care of this. Those are still minor demons. Those are still underlings. The real ones haven't come through yet. So we have to make sure we stop this. I can do the spell now. I'll take care of it, I promise.
Felix grabs Alana's hand and says, "Don't forget what I gave you. All right?"
I've got the coin. I won't forget.
Good.
Is that a comfort?
I think so. I think that would be a comfort of support. 10.
On a hit, they hear you. They mark potential. They can do it if they open up to you. On a 10 plus, you can add a team to the pool or clear a condition. So let's start with Ryder. Do you want to add a team to clear a condition?
I don't have any conditions, so I will add a team to the pool.
I think I look at Ryder and I'm like, look, I don't know what's about to happen. I could be about to do something really terrifying. I love you. Go take care of everyone else, okay?
You know I got this. And as he says that, he's going to just vanish like in a burst of super speed as he runs to go find... Actually, he runs to his motorcycle and then uses the motorcycle to go find Supai and Carl.
And Faye, what are you doing?
I'm marking potential.
You're not clearing condition?
Nope.
Wild. Okay.
I still don't have any conditions to take engage or unleash, so I'll be fine. And I need those to charge my burn later. I want to cast the spell.
Give me the panels of what that looks like.
I reach down and grab a match from the table and light it, and then light the hair on fire. And the smoke starts swirling around my hands as I start chanting in Latin. And then the smoke starts swirling around the map and will eventually land on a spot.
Awesome.
Where does it land? Where do I get to go?
It lands on a black panel, and our next panel cuts back over to Carl and Supai.
Fuck off.
Okay, so the last thing we heard is that we have to get back to the sanctuary or safety, right?
Right.
Okay, so Carl is gonna look at Supai and say, okay, so I think we need to get back home fast, right?
Yeah.
Do you want some transport?
The faster we can get out of here, the better. We going through the sewers? Do you know them?
Sure. Carl starts morphing his shape and turns into a large blue grizzly bear and shoots on fire and looks at Supai and says, "Get on, we'll be faster this way."
Oh, hell yeah. And Supai jumps on Carl's back. I think we get a couple panels of us running through the sewer, and then a ring from Carl's back. Supai reaches into the fur to pull out Carl's phone. Can I answer this? What do you have Ryder in your phone as?
Probably Felix, but then 6 emojis. Probably like the muscle arm emojis.
Fantastic.
Quit it. You're making Felix fall in love.
So I think our next panel cuts to Felix on a motorcycle and Supai's voice coming through the phone. Hello?
Where are you at?
In the sewers on a Carl bear?
You know I'm not going to ask. I need you to meet me at the Ryder Estate. We've got demonic activity.
Carl, do you know where the Ryder Estate is?
Sure.
I think we're going to cut here, and I think we're going to cut back over to Faye. Faye, where does that smoke land?
I think there's an old abandoned cathedral, like at the like northernmost tip of the city. Because Moon Harbor's got like the big crescent moon, like the bay. I think it's like at the like furthest tip of the crescent. So it's like all the way out almost to the ocean.
Okay, cool.
It's like a lighthouse cathedral, old abandoned building all in one.
Excellent. That's the first panel we get, is the smoke landing on this lighthouse cathedral on the very tip, the northern tip of Moon Harbor Bay. And then the panel pulls back to show the whole room. Faye.
Is there demonic activity happening around there?
There is no, there is not.
Great. I'm portaling over there.
Okay.
I'm not going to portal into the cathedral. I want to land outside of it.
We get you opening the portal, the stained glass breaking, and you stepping through. And then behind you on the map, where your sanctuary is located, you see a like dark purple glow start glowing. As the like portal snaps shut, the last panel we get in this scene is Rebecca is stepping in and saying, "Lana, I thought you could use some food." "Oh, you're gone." And then we're going to cut over to Ryder arriving to the outer edge of the Ryder estate. And where is that located in the city?
It's somewhere in Central City.
Okay, lots of neighbors. It's not secluded, right?
Very much so, yeah, not secluded.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure I was framing this all right.
Yeah, they often rent out the bottom couple floors for offices and lawyers and stuff like that.
Cool. So you're a couple blocks away from the Ryder estate when you stop your bike. We get the panel of you screeching to a stop. And there is just kind of general chaos. A lot of abandoned cars, people running. And you see those like short little bulbous demon things running around. No one seems majorly hurt. There are people with minor injuries, but things are just kind of chaos and going. We definitely have the angler whale floating high above in the distance, right around the Ryder building. What do you do?
It looks like that's my target. You picked a bad day to piss me off. Ryder stands up off the bike, puts his hand to his side, the buckler appears, the coin appears on the other side. He combines the two and then attaches it to his waist to finish the armor. And his helmet materializes in, and his full armor appears with the sword in his hand. He says, "Looks like it's time to send you back to hell." And he rushes in to fight.
I think as you're running forward, Carl, help me out with this. How do you and Supai emerge from the sewer? You got any good imagery for this?
I think like there's steam coming out of one of the manhole covers nearby, and then suddenly it like shoots up like 100 feet into the air, and out erupts this giant flaming bear with a flaming person on his back, and they land like a knight.
Fantastic. And I think our next panel is the two of you and Supai catching up beside Ryder. Think we're going to enter battle against a dangerous foe here? Who is the leader?
I'd say Ryder's taking charge of the battle.
Yeah, it's never Carl.
Someday I'm going to make it, Carl. Ryder, do you have influence over every teammate?
No, I don't have influence over Supai.
Okay. What is your purpose in the fight?
Protect civilians, defeat demons.
Carl?
Yeah, that sounds the same. Yeah.
Okay, so that is another team. Does any team member mistrust the leader or the team?
Does Supai distrust Ryder?
Supai does not mistrust either of you. Do either of you mistrust Supai?
Nope. I sent Supai with Carl. I don't mistrust him.
Yeah, no, I think I trust Supai now.
Okay. And is the team ill-prepared or off-balance?
I mean, are we ever prepared? I think we're prepared enough for the fight.
I mean, I'm a giant flaming bear. I'm prepared.
3 team.
Plus, we already had 2, so 5 now.
Okay, cool.
I'd say it would be Carl Bear to my right with Supai on it, looking very, very knightly. And then Ryder standing in front of them in his full knight-like armor with the blue and gold imagery, standing in front of them with a sword, with his sword drawn to his side, and like you get this like full page panel of them standing there, and maybe the first panel is you looking, like seeing them from the front, staring into the battlefield like they're about ready to go, and then the next panel would be a semi overhead shot of kind of like cockeyed a little bit, where you can see the entirety of the street ahead of them with the monsters and demons as they're standing there, kind of small in the frame, and the big giant space whale in the background of the image.
I love that. I'm gonna add one detail, and I don't think this is noticeable to anyone but readers. I don't think anyone in the city sees this. The clouds form just the slightest shape of the All-Seer in the sky. Moon Harbor Heroes is produced by Anthony Sheets and TP Huth, and edited by Anthony Sheets. Anthony can be found on Twitter at IcyNewYear or at IcyNewYear.com. T is the host of Incubator on Air, a new play podcast available on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Play. She can be found at T Huth Playwright on Twitter or TPHuth94 on Instagram. Faces is GM by me, Anthony Sheets. Lighthammer is played by TP Huth. Ryder Typhon is played by Kaido Kane. Kaido is a Twitch personality and loves their 3 mischievous cats. You can find them at the Versian on Twitter, and as Kaido Kane on Twitch.tv. Our logo was designed by Beautiful Beasties. She can be found on Instagram at beastly.doodles or at patreon.com/beautifulbeasties. The music in this issue is Black Vortex by Kevin MacLeod. A link to his website and the license will be in the show notes. If you want to get a hold of us, email us at moonharborheroes@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at moonharborcast. If you enjoyed this issue, please leave us a review on iTunes and tell a friend. Word of mouth and 5-star reviews are really the best way for us to keep bringing these stories to more people. If you'd like to support us financially, check us out on patreon.com/moonharborheroes. Supporting us there will give you access to bonus episodes each month. And thanks for helping us save the world. We'll see you next issue.